Hello there and welcome to the series of videos that's going through the content of A-Level Maths. Here we're working on the topic of circles and triangles from Equations of Circle chapter, so we can answer questions from exercise 6F. So what we've seen already at GCSE in circle theorems is that if you perpendicularly bisect a chord, then it will go through the centre of the circle, and if you do that twice you can locate the centre of a circle. In addition, any triangle can be described inside a circle, and each side of that triangle is a chord. And a right-angled triangle will always pass through the centre of the circle, so one of those lines will always be the diameter. So let's use that third circle theorem there to answer a question here. We have three coordinates that form a triangle inside a circle, and we want to prove that AB is the diameter of the circle, and then find the equation of the circle. So to prove that this is the diameter of a circle, we could also prove that this triangle here to here is a right-angled triangle, and if it is a right-angled triangle, then this must be the diameter. Now we could do this a couple of ways. We could prove that this angle here is a right angle by looking at the gradients of these lines here and here, or we could do it by a little bit of Pythagoras theorem and look at the distances on these green lines. So let's go ahead and do that. So the distance from A to C has a distance of 4 along and 8 up, so that's 4 squared plus 8 squared. The distance between B to C goes along 8 and down 4, so that's 8 squared plus 4 squared. And the distance between A to B goes along 12 and up 4, so that's going to be 12 squared plus 4 squared, which is 160 square rooted. Check Pythagoras theorem holds for this triangle here, and of course it does. We get 80 plus 80 is 160. Therefore, as the triangle is a right-angled triangle, A to B goes through the diameter. Okay, now we need to find the equation of the circle. So given that we've just found the diameter, we can halve that value to get the radius. And we also need to consider the midpoint between A and B to get the centre of the circle. So the midpoint between the diameter, the coordinates either side of the diameter will give us the centre. So that's minus 2, 3. So given these two values here, plug them into the general equation for the circle, and we get x plus 2 squared add y minus 3 squared equals 40. Right, so let's move on to the next question. We have three coordinates on our triangle, our circle that form a triangle. They're all on the circumference of a circle. The equation of the perpendicular bisector PQ is y equals 2x. Find the equation of the perpendicular for PR this time. So it looks like we're going to be looking at this circle theorem in the top left, perpendicularly bisecting both the chords to find the centre. Find the coordinates of the centre of the circle and the equation of the circle. It's really important with these sorts of questions here that you draw a diagram to help yourself visualise what's going on. So here's the diagram of the circle, and we've already been told that the perpendicular bisector of PQ is y equals 2x. Now you can see here that this line here would obviously go through the centre. I'm not too worried about this diagram being exact, just helping me visualise the question. The next thing we need to do is find the perpendicular bisector of PR. So first of all, we're going to need to find the midpoint between P and R, find the gradient of P and R, bisect it, so create the right angle gradient, and then do y equals mx plus c. So the midpoint of PR, which will bisect the line, is going to be substituting your coordinate values into that formula, and you get minus 2, 11. The next thing we need to do is the gradient of P to R, and then we'll right angle it afterwards. We do difference in y over difference in x. It doesn't matter which way around these two coordinates go. So here we're going to get 1 as the gradient of the green line. It goes across 10 and up 10, so that's a gradient of 1. So therefore this dotted line down here, the red dotted line that perpendicularly bisects it, is going to be at a right angle to it, and hence has a gradient of -1. Now that we know the coordinate it intersects and the gradient of the line, we can work out the equation of this dotted line here, which is the answer to part A. So let's go ahead and do that then. So y equals mx plus c. Plug in your coordinates here. So it's going to be 11 equals -1 times the x coordinate of -2. And we're going to get a double negative there. So taking it onto the other side, and we get c is 9. So we get y equals -x plus 9. So that's the equation for the perpendicular bisector of PR, y equals -x plus 9. Find the coordinate of the centre of the circle. So now what we're going to do is find the intersection of these two lines here and here. So we set the two equations equal to each other, work out the value of x, and then work out the value of y. So this is going to be at the coordinate 3, 6. Now again, this diagram doesn't quite look right. It looks like it should intersect the x-axis. That's not quite going to happen. We can see here that we're off by quite a lot here as well. It's just a useful diagram to help us visualize what's going on. So what we're going to do then is we've found the equation for the center. We found the center of the circle. Now we're going to go for the equation of the circle, and we just need one of these radiuses from the center of the circle outwards to the circumference. So we're working with the coordinate 3, 6, and we'll substitute in the coordinate 11, 12. So we'll work out this distance from here to here. So do a little bit of Pythagoras distance calculation on that, and you should get a distance of 10. So given that we now know the centre of the circle and the radius, we can plug this into the general equation of a circle, and we get x minus 3 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals 100. Okay, so that's going to follow for any three coordinates that you pick. You can find the equation of a circle from three coordinates using perpendicular bisectors. Find the centre of the circle, and then it's just a distance from the centre of the circle to a coordinate. The sketch wasn't completely accurate, but that's not the point of the sketch. The point of the sketch is to visualise what's going on so we know what we need to work out. Right, okay then, well done for having a go at this question here. Quite a tough one here. Hopefully to start off with, you have drawn out a diagram to be able to visualise what's going on here. First we need the coordinate -11, 8. So we're out over here, -11, 8. This is the coordinate P. The coordinate Q is at -6, -7. Q is at -6, -7. And the coordinate for R is at 4, -7. Okay, so what we need first is to connect all of these together to form a circle. Not the best circle in the world, but that's not the point. The point is to be able to visualise what's going on. So the first thing we need is the perpendicular bisector of P to Q. So connecting these 2 points up here, we want the perpendicular bisector of this. So we're going to want this blue line that I'm drawing in here, where we have a right angle between the chord and the bisector. So what we need to do first is to work out the midpoint of P to Q. So the way we do that is by the little formula that we've got. So it's -11 take away 6 over 2 for the x coordinates, and 8 take away 7 over 2 for the y coordinates. So this is going to give us -17 over 2 and 1 over 2. The next thing we need is the gradient of P to Q. So that's going to be difference in y over difference in x. So So the difference in the y coordinate here is going to be from 8 down to -7, so that's a -15 movement. And from -11 up to -6, that's a positive movement of 5. So here we get a gradient of 3, and the perpendicular gradient of the blue line now is going to therefore be a third. And that kind of makes sense. It's kind of flat, positive direction, so a third makes sense to us here. Now we need to plug this into y equals mx plus c, so we've got y equals a third x plus c. Plug in our coordinate of the midpoint in, because that's the coordinate the blue line intersects. I'm going to get a half equals a third of -17/2 plus c. So therefore c is going to be a half, add, because it's a negative on this side here, so we'll add it onto the other side of 17/6. So this is going to be the same as 3/6 add 17/6, that's 20/6, which simplifies to 10/3. So that's the value for c. So our equation is going to be y equals a third x plus 10/3. Perfect, so that's the answer to part I. The perpendicular bisector of QR now. Now QR is a bit of a different kettle of fish. I know that QR is going to be a flat horizontal line because both y coordinates here are -7. So my perpendicular is just going to be a straight vertical line that goes up at a certain coordinate. So I know it's going to be an x equals equation because it has a certain x value and an ever-changing y value, and it's going to be the midpoint between -6 and 4, which is -1. So in the answer to part Q, so the answer to part II, which is the perpendicular bisector of QR, the equation here is just x equals -1. We can see here because it's a flat graph here, so it's a vertical graph here where we have an equation of x equals -1. So that's the answer to part I, that's the answer to part II. So that's part A done. Part B is now to find the equation of the circle. So what we want to do now is find the midpoint at which the two bisectors intersect. Now we know the x coordinate is definitely going to be -1, so plugging that into this equation here, and I get a third of -1 plus 10/3. That's 10/3, take away a third, so we get 9/3, which is the coordinate 3. So the centre of this circle here is going to be -1, 3. So the equation of this circle now is going to look like x plus 1 squared, because it's the negative of this -1, add y minus 3 squared equals, and now we need the radius. So let's do the coordinate -1, 3 to, let's use this r coordinate here. So in this r coordinate, we're going to go from -1 up to 4. That's a difference of 5. So the radius is going to be the square root of 5 squared. Add the difference in the y coordinate here, that goes from 3 down to -7. That's a difference of 10 here. So it's going to be add 10 squared. And this is going to give us 25 add 100, so the square root of 125. And then the value that's going to go on the end of our equation here is r squared, so that's going to be 125. Right, okay, I hope that made sense there. Make sure you do lots of practice on exercise 6F. Make sure that you persevere through these challenging questions like this one here. Draw a good diagram. Make sure you plot onto your diagram everything you know, and ask your teacher if you need further assistance. Okay, thanks for watching.